Alright, let's go ahead and rewind a little bit here. In December 2019, almost a year ago to date, I did a video on Lineage II Remastered. NCSoft had recently confirmed that they were going to be releasing an entire overhaul of the popular MMO using Unreal Engine 4. Cue the crowds raising up ready to give NCSoft a standing ovation, raising their hands into the air in victory. Finally, they're giving the Lineage games the attention that they deserve. Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys here, they had already gotten plenty of attention up until this point, just not necessarily in the way that players had wanted that attention delivered. With Lineage 2 Revolution, and Lineage 2 M, and Lineage 2 random other mobile title. Fast forward to the end of the year 2020, what do we know about the game, its release date, what the overhaul is actually going to include? I have been asked repeatedly, pretty much every week for the last several months, if I had any updates on the game. And that is what I'm here today to discuss. So let's get the most important question out of the way first. What is Lineage 2 Remastered? Is it an overhaul? Is it an entire remake? Good question, I'm glad you asked. At the end of 2019, NCSoft had opened a job posting where they were searching for a technical artist that had expertise in Unreal Engine 4. Lineage 2 was released 17 years ago, roughly, and was developed on Unreal Engine 2.5. Yeah, it has really been that long. Do you guys feel old yet? So we're skipping Unreal Engine 3 entirely and moving directly on to Unreal Engine 4. Now, the good news here is it is not being built on Unreal Engine 5, which means that the game does not have an expected release date of like 2024 or 2025. What we currently know about this project is that NCSoft are attempting an overhaul that no MMO developer has ever attempted before. A task that is so daunting that since the beginning of the overhaul, NCSoft have chosen to avoid discussing the game in any capacity. Heck, they didn't even make it to G-Star 2019 at the time to promote it. They haven't made any mention of whether this overhaul will add anything additional into the game or if it'll alter any of the core mechanics that players grew to love about the game. What has been confirmed is that since they're upgrading the graphical engine to Unreal Engine 4, they're going to be completely altering the textures for the NPCs, the characters, and the environments, meaning that your favorite characters are likely going to be entirely unrecognizable. But that isn't it. Your character model, the very character you started when you begun this journey, is going to be equally as unrecognizable. With this large change comes a question: if the graphics, especially pertaining to the character models, are going to alter us to such a degree, then are they going to add in additional customization options? I don't think with a game that is going to look as good as this perhaps will, should be as limited as the original incarnation of the game was, right? And then if they overhaul the character models and the environments, that means that they're going to have to alter the combat animations, the skill effects, everything. So on the one hand, we might actually have a game that ends up looking something like Crimson Desert, incredibly fluid in terms of combat and animations with crisp, gorgeous scenery, or we'll have something that looks and plays as sloppily and as clunkily as Estelia Online did. I feel like they're pretty much our only two options. So while NCSoft have titled this Lineage 2 Remastered, it might be entirely feasible to call this an entirely new entry in the franchise just with the same story. But why are they choosing to overhaul the entire game, and why now? I'm well aware that Lineage and Lineage 2 have always been popular over here in the West. Not nearly to the same degree, the same extent that they once were, but they still have their followings of tens of thousands of players, especially with the classic servers going. I'm fully of the opinion that since they still have yet to apply the Unreal Engine 4 update to Blade & Soul, right? Man, it is crazy how long that they have been delaying that. But since they're overhauling Blade & Soul by importing the game over to Unreal Engine 4, I feel as though to keep the Lineage franchise kind of up to date and monetizable, they're making certain to follow through with Lineage 2 as well. Because at the end of the day, if there's one thing we know to be fact when it comes to South Korean MMO developers, or maybe just South Korean developers in general, it is that their game has to look good. And if it doesn't, then it is garbage and they should remake it in its entirety. Case in point. So, when should we expect Lineage II Classic? I know that's likely the most important question on your mind going into this, right? Back at the end of last year, we had no definitive release date scheduled, and as of the end of 2021, that seems to be the case once again. This overhaul is a work in progress and could likely take several years before their vision comes to fruition. It doesn't have a confirmed release date scheduled for 2021 nor 2022, but I wouldn't expect it to go beyond 2024, as by then the vast majority of MMOs built on Unreal Engine 4 2024 are going to be very outdated. I mean, heck, there are MMO developers here such as Exile Games and Kakao that are already building the new ArcheAge 2 MMO on Unreal Engine 5. So if I were to take a guess here, I would say that we're probably going to receive some trailers for the game coming sometime during 2022 with a confirmed release date probably sometime towards the end of 2023, maybe at the very latest the beginning of 2024. But this is pertaining to South Korea, not the rest of the world here. I can't say much about the international release of the game because much like Blade and Soul, the West is kind of more of an afterthought, but we will no doubt get it in time. We just have to sit back, be patient, and wait, like always. With TL Origin coming soon, which is essentially Lineage 3 for all intents and purposes, this might temporarily, of course, put the remaster on the back burner, however. Regardless, I am excited to one day get into Lineage 2 and play it in a world that looks as good as Blade and Soul Remastered is going to look. Maybe even like Crimson Desert looks, or Crimson Desert is going to look as well. That will be the day that the Lineage franchise makes its comeback. Because while I'm sure that TL Origin is no doubt going to be a good MMO in its own right, to me personally, I don't feel like a top-down isometric MMO is ever going to be better than a traditional MMO. But this is my opinion, my impressions of the game. What do you guys think? Are you still looking forward to Lineage 2 Remastered? Let me know down in the comments below and let's talk about it. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah. It's gonna be worth it. Ooh,